Welcome children to second part of the chapter Conservation of Plants and Animals. In the previous video, we learnt about the benefits or the useful products we get from forest, and also we discussed about causes and consequences of deforestation and how deforestation is leading to disturbance of ecosystem and flora and fauna. We human beings are not only cutting down the trees, but we are killing the wildlife also. There are so many animals that are being killed by human beings to get some useful products from them. And it is on such a large scale that some of the animals are now, some have already extinct and some are at the verge of extinction. Here in the chapter there are some terms used. Let's have a look at those terms. One term is endemic species. Endemic species means the species that is native to where it is found and not found elsewhere. That means there are some plants and animals which are found only in a particular region only and they are not found anywhere else. For example, sal and wild mango plants, then Indian giant squirrel and flying squirrel. These are some endemic organisms which are found only in Pachmari Biosphere Reserves. So they are endemic species for that particular region. Then some animals are called as endangered species. A species of plant or animals that is in immediate danger of becoming extinct and needs protection to survive, they are called as endangered species. Then there are some which are called threatened. Threatened are the species when their number are going down steadily. Then we call them as threatened species. Here we have some examples of endangered species like the polar bear, the jaguar, the African elephant, the sea turtle. All these animals are endangered species and they may get extinct very soon if we do not take care of them. To preserve them and to conserve all these species, to save them, there are certain protected areas formed like Biosphere Reserves, national parks and wildlife sanctuaries where animals and plants are taken care of. Now, what are these Biosphere Reserves? These are the large areas of protected land for conservation of wildlife, plant and animal resources and traditional life of the tribals living in that area. So in India there are biosphere reserves in many places, like some of the biosphere reserves are listed here like Nanda Devi, Sundarbans, Pachmari, Great Nicobar. All these are biosphere reserves where wildlife is protected and conserved. Then wildlife sanctuary. Here the area is declared for the purpose of protecting, propagating or developing wildlife or its environment and gives certain rights of people living inside that area could be permitted is known as wildlife sanctuary. Then we have national parks. A national park is a park in use for conservation purposes. Here areas are reserved for wildlife where they can freely use the habitat and natural resources. Some examples or some of the national parks in India are like Sundarban National Park, the Gangotri National Park in Uttarakhand, the Gir Forest National Park in Gujarat. So here are some of the places where animals are conserved. Now, besides conserving animals and plants, we have to conserve forest as well. Now, some of the ways to conserve forest are like trees should be planted on a large scale on available land, and this large scale planting of saplings is called as afforestation. And when this is done on deforested land, then it is called as reforestation. More forest reserves and botanical gardens should be established. Allowing animals to graze on the same patch of land for a long period of time should be avoided. Measures should be taken to prevent and control forest fires. Awareness programs should be conducted by people to promote the need to use our forest resources judiciously. Since paper is obtained from wood pulp, recycling of paper will also help to conserve trees to some extent. As you know, you all must be knowing, children, that 17 trees are used to make 1 ton of paper. And if each student saves at least one sheet of paper in a day, we can save many trees in a year. So we should save, reuse used paper and recycle it. By doing this, we not only save trees but also save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. Moreover, the amount of harmful chemicals used in paper making will also be reduced. So by saving paper also we can save trees. Now, as I had told you in the beginning of the chapter, this chapter is only for doing activity, and here you are going to make a project on endangered animals. Now, for activity, I am giving you 3 options. There are 3 options. You can choose any one, whatever you find convenient to do. Now, first option is to make a project on any 2 endangered animals, any 2 species of endangered animals. What you are supposed to do here, I'm showing you some examples. Like, you can make a project on any 2 endangered species. You will be sticking the picture of the endangered species and you will be writing about that animal. That is the name of the animal, the habitat, where is it found, right? So some information about the animals you will be writing if you are doing this project. Second option is to make a collage of pictures of endangered species, right? So you can collect some pictures of endangered species and you can make a collage of that, and if possible write some slogan with that, like save wildlife, all some creative slogans you can make. This is second option. And third option is, this is about, as we were talking about, reusing paper. So here you can make something useful from old waste newspaper or magazine paper, or if you're having any kind of paper which is a waste, make use of that paper. Here are some articles which can be made. These are only few examples. You can make paper bags. So here we have only few examples. You can use your own creativity, and you all are very creative. You can make some different articles using the waste paper. So here we will be reusing the waste paper, making use of paper which we have